3 a.m. in the morning, and he's always providing great value. He's a great coach. He's been helping agents build their business. I've known Brock for, 10 years now, and really respected in our market, does a great business, has a great family. He has 2 small children. They're absolutely adorable in his world. So your why has to be big enough to make your goals. If you don't have that aligned, the rest of it doesn't matter, right? So make sure you got that aligned, and Brock's got that done well.
Good morning, everybody. How are we doing? How are we doing today? So I wanted to thank you all for being here. I want to thank John, Shelly, and Craig for the invite for me to be able to speak up here today. I also want to give a special thank you to Janet and Deb. They've been phenomenal on all the texts and emails that we get. We're supposed to go, so let's give them a round of applause. I also want to just keep our thoughts and our prayers. There's quite a few people that were supposed to be here today that I coach. They're on the other side of the state. And this morning I was watching the sunrise, thinking about the challenges that they're facing. And so if we could just keep them in mind in their prayers, because their world has been flipped upside down. A week ago, the hurricane hit them. And so there's some people that are very close, dear to my heart, that aren't able to be here today. So keep them in mind. As we're able to be a part of this, unfortunately, they're not going to be, they're not here for us to be with us today. So, my name is Brock Zevin. I'm a life coach, I'm a business coach, I'm a real estate agent, and as Shelly said, my best job is I'm a dad. I have a 4-year-old, Bryce, who drives me crazy, and I have a 10-year-old daughter, Brielle, who thinks she's 18. And so it's been very entertaining for me. I'm a single dad, and you're going to hear a little bit more about my story as I go through things. One of the things you'll see here is power of prospecting. If you're taking notes, cross out power and put purpose. The purpose of prospecting is very, very important. And that was not an edit or a typo. It's just the thought processes and the mindset as you hear the theme that is the purpose of prospecting. Okay? And so one of the things that I hear from different people, and to be able to share with you why I started prospecting and the reasons why I do what I do, in the last year, I've made over $200,000 talking to strangers. Okay? That is why I started to do this, is because I learned how to become really good at it. 3 years ago, I was $650,000 in debt. Okay? I don't know about you, but it's not a fun feeling. It's not exciting to be in debt. And the third thing that I'm starting to work on is I'm writing a book called The Scripts into Conversations, and that's how I got involved into this whole prospecting thing. So I've talked to a lot of you already, but how many of you, raise your hands very high, have prospected before? John, why did you give me a topic that everybody already knows about? So everybody has done prospecting in some category, in some capacity, right? So I'm working with my notes and the clicker here. But I believe in order for this to take place, in order for prospecting to take the purpose of prospecting, I believe that you must understand yourself before you can start analyzing others. And with that being said, it's very important that I had to understand myself. So I started to learn, where do I go with this? My clicker. There we go. So I heard a story about Coach Paul Bear Bryant. He was an Alabama coach. Okay? Roll Tide. And when I heard the story, it was about the quarterback. And the quarterback had the same attitude I had about 6 years ago. Mitch and I had a conversation last night, sitting down at the bar last night, talking about our attitude and where it is. 6 years ago, my attitude was very different, just like this quarterback. So Coach Bryant was in a bowl game. The quarterback was known for being one of the top in the country. He had a phenomenal arm. He was able to manage the game very well. Problem was he didn't have very good footwork. He wasn't a very fast athlete. It was the end of the game. The team was up by 3. Coach says to the quarterback, I just need you to run the ball. Let's just run the game out. He says, okay, no problem, Coach. He goes back in the huddle. He says, Coach doesn't know what he's talking about, guys. We're going to throw the ball. So he drops back. He throws the football. It gets intercepted. The defensive player is running the other way. The quarterback now has to turn and start the run the other way. Is it fair to say that both these players are playing the same game? Is it fair to say that both the players have playing with the same football? Is it fair to say they're both playing on the same field? Is the defensive player proactive because he got the ball first and started running? Is the quarterback reactive by now having to turn and chase this guy? The quarterback chases the guy down at the 5-yard line, tackles him. End of the game, they end up winning it. The opposing coach comes over to Coach Bryan and says, "Coach, I thought you told me this guy wasn't fast." He goes, "He's not." He goes, "Well, he chased my top player down." He goes, "Your player was running for 6 points. My player was running for his life." So there's a difference. I've been running for my life for the last 6 years. Just like John, we get emotional when we start talking about our past. See, I've been running for a very long time. And I've learned you're either going to be running towards something or you're going to be running away from something. And I've been running away from something for a very, very long time until I started to say, you know what? Enough is enough. I've been through hell and back. It's not fun. But I started to have purpose in my life. I started to take ownership of my life. Strongly recommend reading the book, Extreme Ownership. I had many challenges in the last 6 years. On November 1st, very shortly, I get to celebrate 6 years of being sober. I fight that battle every day. Thank you. It was a challenge. It still is a challenge. A lot of people say, "You got it, man. You got to beat." I said, "You don't know what my life's like." I've been divorced. I was just talking to these ladies over here. Tammy, I'm going on 3 years, 1 month, and 4 days. Still dealing with the divorce. I love their mother. We're just not in love. It was a challenge. Still fighting it. So what happens is it's either kids or finances. I've dealt with foreclosure on my house. I've had all my credit cards completely maxed. I've had both my cars repossessed within 2 weeks. Try to have that with your ex-wife. That was not a fun conversation. 2 years, I was in a lawsuit for $75,000 for a situation I didn't control from a partner of mine that was embezzling money. It was all over social media. It was all over Facebook. It's on the North Carolina Bulletin. And there goes that. See, those even want to see it. I lost my real estate license. Okay? Lost my license for an entire year, 2019, the worst year of my life. I had DSS called on me. Anybody have their kids almost taken away from them? It's not fun. You can't control it. They'll come right into your house. Ask you how you are as a dad. Piss me off. But I can't do anything. I was $153,000 in IRS debt with the sheriff coming knock on me telling me I'm going to jail until I do something about it. This is real life stuff, guys. I had a purpose for what I was going to do. Then I had a defining moment 3 years ago. I was talking to this lady, Joan. Joan was asking me about my story. My story basically in a nutshell is this. Before the week of my birthday, I was called into the Keller Williams office, and nothing against Keller Williams, but that's where I was working at. Brought me in. I thought they were about to wish me happy birthday because I didn't have a license, I didn't have a job, and I was going through a lot of stuff, and they said, "You're going to have to go." I said, "Excuse me?" I said, "Well, what about my team?" I went from 9 people to 18 people on my team. I had 4 employees. I had a payroll roughly about $25,000 a month. I said, "Whoa, your team can stay though, Brock." "Thanks, bud. Appreciate that. It really helps me out." Went to an off-site location, had a meeting with them. The defining moment came to me when I was able to come back to that same exact office. He told me I had to leave. I said, "Thank you very much. All 18 people are coming with me." They all decided to come with me, and I learned at that moment that I had leadership inside of me. With that, I started to learn how to prospect at an extremely high level. In order to prospect at an extremely high level, you have to have a purpose behind it. And so I started to study and learn all about the DISC. I have handouts for you. That's a little postcard. On the back of it has quadrants, the D, the I, the S, and the C. I believe that people don't remember what you say to them. They remember how you make them feel. I listen to people. I don't go down my scripts and have be like I was telling somebody earlier today. Said when they say to me, "How you doing? My name is Brock Zeman, local real estate agent. I want to see if your home is active." "It is, but my dog died." "Great. Are you co-broker buyer agency?" Okay. "I don't understand, Brock. They hang up on me." Well, of course they hang up on me. God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. Start using 2 ears to be able to learn what you're saying and what you're doing. Turning scripts into conversations was how my book was created, is I took the scripts and I applied them to conversations to validate them. All right? I learned through the DISC that 62% of people are S's and C's. That means when I'm talking to people, I understand immediately where I need to go. I ask them a specific set of questions that they have no idea. That's why I'm doing a webinar on Tuesday called the Black Belt of Personalities, because I have a set of skills that people don't even realize. I was talking to Kirsten. Her and I met on the airplane. I bought my tickets 2 days ago because I wasn't too sure because I had some kids challenges. And I met her and she's like, I pulled out my thing studying and she's like, are you going to that? I said, yes, I am. She goes, so am I. And I was like, what are the chances of that taking place? But the situation is at any given point, you have to be ready. You have to be ready to understand your scripts and your conversations. How many of you would like to make an extra $200,000 this year? Raise your hand high if you really want to. If you don't, no problem. But I want to make $200,000. But you have to have something even more meaningful. Because people tell me, well, I don't want to do it, Brock. Well, see, how many of you heard reasons or excuses? Or reasons or results? Reasons or results? Guys, reasons is what you need. We think reasons are excuses. Reasons are purpose. Reasons are why I get up in the morning. Reasons are why I do things. These are my reasons. I got my kids in the far left-hand corner that I get to take on vacation. I am not working for my kids anymore. I'm working for my grandkids. My kids will always be taken care of because that's what's in my mindset. Start working for other things, legacies that are down the road. Your grandkids, your great-grandkids, whatever that might be. Charity. I give more money now than I ever did before. Anytime anybody says round up, I do. I carry 5 to 6 $10 bills with me at all times because when I'm at the cash register or the grocery store or whatever, somebody says I got Girl Scout cookies, popcorn, whatever it might be, I say, here's a $10 donation, take it. Something to keep giving back. Wendy, my girl from the bottom left-hand corner, was supposed to speak today. You have to have people in your corner working for you, supporting you. We were struggling with my kids. That's why I wasn't too sure if I was going to make it. She says, Brock, you're a coach, you're a speaker. This is more important to you for you to grow. I will stay at home and watch the kids. You have to have support in your system in order to do that. She wanted a pool. She goes, Brock, it'd be really great to have a pool. I said, oh, okay, that sounds fun. And I'm thinking like an above-ground pool. And that's what she comes up with over here. I was like, holy smokes, that's what you want? 6 months later, we have a pool like that. I have purpose behind my prospecting. We want to go on a cruise. That's what we're doing for the kids. A la carte, everything you possibly can imagine. The timer lady's yelling at me. I gotta hurry. Now, do I get tired of running? 6 years ago, I had a chip. I had a chip that kept me going. This chip does not do the same thing it did to me 6 years ago because I'm in a different season of my life. Now I carry this around with me, and this is my kids. This is the bracelet that they made me that gives me the energy, the drive to keep doing what I'm doing because I'm like you. I don't like making prospecting calls every day. I don't like doing it. I don't like getting up early. I don't like staying up late. I don't like having the negativity come into me. But guess what? When I carry this with me, you can't stop me. And until you have something inside your brain that tells you that you can do it and nothing else can get in your way, then you'll be successful. I get passionate about this, guys, because I talk to people, I coach people all the time, and they have more excuses than anything else. When your why is greater than your excuses, you will prospect. I know I'm going. Now, I'm at the conclusion. I'm doing a webinar about the DISC, about the D, the I, the S, and the C, my conversations and how I do it on Tuesday at 1 o'clock. It's on the back side of your postcard. This is what I do. This is what I'm good at. This is what made me $200,000 in last year. If you like what I'm talking about, if it sounds like this is something I can help you with, if you want to dive deeper with me, that's the one-on-one strategy call right there. It's on the back of the postcard that I gave you that has both the QR codes. If you want my information, it's right there. There's my email, my phone number. I'm accessed all the time. I appreciate people actually who call me early in the morning who want accountability early in the morning. I do a mindset call every single morning at 8:15. Every single morning, even on holidays. People say, Brock, you do it on holidays? I said, you better believe it, because I drank on holidays. People need motivation even on holidays. Christmas morning, if you want to pick up that phone, you can call. I will be there at 8:15 in the morning. You probably hear my kids in the background because I have them for Christmas this year. Guys, my name is Brock Zita. God bless you all. Thank you so much for having me here today.